Hello champs, how are you doing? I think you are enjoying your life. पर कहते हैं मौज मस्ती के साथ साथ थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ भी लेना चाहिए. So in this video, I'll explain you how the amount you incurred on buying different items to categorize into asset and expense. This guy Rahul, he's he's confused actually, thinking of starting a business of buying and selling computer or buy or sell car, or he's thinking of manufacturing and selling furniture. So after so much deliberation and thinking, what does he decide? Let's see. Hurrah! He decides to start a business of manufacturing and selling furniture. As he decided to start business of manufacturing and selling furniture, he started buying things. He bought wood, he bought some mica, he bought Fevicol. He also hired employees, he bought machinery. He has also taken office on a rent. But now what? He's got confused. He's confused about how to categorize all these items into asset and expense. He thinks, who is the guy who can help him out to categorize all this? And suddenly he remembers one guy that, yeah, this will definitely help him out. And you know who is this guy? Yeah, you know it. It's none other than your host and those, Rajesh Thakur. So he calls him up and explain all these things, that he has started business of manufacturing, selling furniture, he has bought all these materials and things, but now he's confused how to categorize that. So let's see how Rajesh helps him out to get for the categorization of all these items.
Hi Rahul, I understood your confusion. In order to understand the basic difference between assets and expense, we need to understand the definition first. What is asset? Assets are properties or resources which are owned or controlled by a business entity, and they do provide future benefit, or they can be realized. On the other hand, expense are the amount spent or incurred to earn revenue. Based on these two definitions, let's categorize your business financial transactions. If you have bought wood, you have bought Sunmica, you have bought Fevicol. So whether these will be categorized under asset or expense. The definition of asset says that the material which you own or control, or they have future benefit, will be classified or categorized under assets. So do these characteristics are there in this material? Yes. You own the wood, you own the Sunmica, you own the Fevicol, and you can control these. They do have future benefit? Yes, they do have future benefit. So that's why they will be categorized under asset. The second question is, if you're paying rent for an office, under which category this will be? The answer is simple, because it's an expense. You don't own the office, you have taken it on rent, so that's why that will be classified as expense. Now let's say you are paying to employees which you have hired for your business. So the question is again, do you own or control these resources, the manpower which you have hired? No, you don't own or control these resources. You are paying them for the services which you are availing from them. So that's why the amount which you are paying as a salary or wages to the employees, that will become under the category of expense. Now, the other thing is, like, you have bought machinery. So under which category this will be? The answer is simple. The machinery is owned or controlled by you. Does this machinery has future benefit? Yes, this machinery has future benefits. So based on the asset definition, this machinery will be categorized under assets. So I hope now you understand that by using the definition, we can categorize the financial transactions between asset and expense. Now let's understand, when do we transfer the amount incurred to buy an asset into expense. In order to understand it, let's go with an example. Let's say you have a business of buying and selling car. So you have bought 3 cars at a rupees 60,000 per car, and you sold these cars. Out of these 3, you have sold 2 cars at rupees 70,000. So if I ask how much profit have you earned, you will straight away say 70,000 your selling price, 60,000 your buying price. So there's a profit of 10,000 on one car. You have sold 2 cars, so 20,000 is the total profit you have earned. How easily you have done it? If you look at how do you calculate profit? Profit is revenue minus expense. That is your profit. But the question comes, when you have bought these cars, they were your assets. Now why you taken 2 cars as an expense to compute profit? So the expense definition says the amount which you spent or incurred to earn revenue, that will be categorized under expense. So out of 3 cars, 2 cars you have sold. So the purpose of selling that car is to earn revenue. Now that is why out of 3 cars, 2 cars cost you have transferred as an expense and the 1 car remains with you, that will still be lying in your books as an asset. In order to have a better clarity on this, let's understand it from the example of machinery. If you have bought a machinery at rupees 1 lakh rupees and this machinery has life of 10 years. So what is the amount of 1 year? So if 1 lakh is the total cost of a machinery and this machinery has a 10 years life, so the 1 year cost will be 10,000. You can see that this machinery which you will be used to earn revenue, and this revenue will not be for a 1 year, this revenue will be for 10 years. So I cannot book the total cost of the machinery into 1 year because it has a life of 10 years. It will help me to earn revenue over a period of 10 years. So what do? The expense definition say the usage or the expense you have incurred to earn revenue. So I have used that machinery not for the 10 years. I use it for 1 year. So 1 year cost I'll book of that asset as an expense. So what is that 1 year cost? That is 10,000. So 10,000 is the amount which I'm going to book as an expense from the asset which I have bought.